Hey everybody, how you doing today? Andy Martinez Jr. And today's video, I just want to talk a little bit about the coming new year 2020. Less than a week away. Oh my goodness. The second decade of the millennium has come and gone. How many of you remember Y2K? I do. So in anticipation of another 20 years going by, I wanted to talk a little bit about today something that we always all talk about, and that is getting our goals accomplished. I know every year I write down a set of things that I'd like to accomplish, and I gotta say that I don't really make it every single time. And coming towards the end of the year, I start to reflect on my year, and there's a lot of things where I'm like, damn, I really wish I would have gotten to that. But I'm gonna share with you a little trick that I started pulling on myself, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago. And that's when I write down my goals. I write really big goals, big dreams. If I want to make more money, I put a number down. I'm like, this year I want to do $100 million in deals. This year, in terms of my health is a very big deal to me. You all know that. I want to be able to squat this much or bench press this much, or at the end of the year, I want to make sure that I'm still able to run a certain amount of miles in 1 hour. This year, my goal for that was to be able to run around 7.5 miles in 1 hour on the treadmill. And I did, I think, 7.68 miles a few days ago. And with, what are we at? The 28th, I got a couple days. I might get back on the treadmill and try to crush that record and set myself up for the next year. I like to set a long list of goals. Short-term goals are really easy because they keep you motivated, crossing them off. Those long-term goals, especially when you're setting plans for, God, even a week in advance. In today's world, everything's happening so fast. Even setting a goal for a week away can be a challenge, but those goals where you're setting yourself up for, a year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, being able to look that far down the road. Don't beat yourself up too much about what's happening 10 years down the road. Try to focus a little bit more on the smaller steps in between. So when I write down that list of mine, and I'm writing down a bunch of goals, a bunch of things, and those things can include everything from, traveling, or how many YouTube videos I want to post, how many Instagram videos I want to post, how many speaking engagements I want to have, how many deals do I want to close, how many people do I want to add to my database, how many phone calls do I want to make a day. All these things, I come up with huge numbers, grand ideas, how many apartment buildings I want to own next year or buy next year. Whatever it is, I try to make it something big. I know a lot of people will say, hey, don't go after or set yourself up for failure. I think that's a bunch of crap. If you set big goals and you go after them, even if you fall short, it's better than setting a low goal and achieving it, right? Like if you set a standard for like right here and you get there, that's great. Congratulations. But if you set a standard for right up here and you only get to like right here, that's still better, right? You've come a little further away than if you would have hit the mark. And a lot of people, once they hit the mark, they stop. So I like setting goals that exceed my expectations and might feel like they are out of reach, but doesn't mean that I don't strive for them. And that's about it. Those are my tricks, and I play these games with myself in a variety of ways. Look, this is another one. When I started doing this, I love doing this. I'm 42 years old, and I like being on my treadmills, talk about exercising all the time. So I used to do this thing where I still do it. When I jump on the treadmill, I usually do around 6, 7, 8 miles. In between every mile, I pause the machine, I get on the floor, and I do one more push-up than my age. So right now I'm currently 42. When I'm doing my mile, I get off, I do 43 push-ups, I run again. I do another mile, I get off the machine, I do another 43 push-ups. By the time I'm done, let's say I'm doing 6 to 7 miles, I've already done around an extra 280 to 240 to 280, 200 and 301. If I do 43, 21, 28, you do the math. I get them in there. And it helps me keep adding so that I'm constantly improving myself, because age, that's just a number. In business, I try to keep track of everybody that I meet, and I'm constantly adding people to my database, whether it's my professional database, my social database, people that I feel I can learn from. I always try to be around people that can constantly be educating me and bringing me up. If you set one goal for yourself, do this one for me, for next year, for you, do this. Try to surround yourself with one or two new people that are living the life that you, path that you want to be on, living a life that you feel that you would like to be living, and try to spend as much time with those people as possible. You got to learn from these people, and and like attracts like. So try to surround yourself with a little bit better quality individuals. I hate to say it like that, but a lot of times you hear things like, you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I will tell you that, when I quit smoking, everybody around me changed. All my smoker friends kind of either quit smoking, which thank you to you guys because we're still friends, but the ones that, didn't quit with me, it was kind of hard to maintain that relationship and that friendship. When my health became my focus, I started hanging out with people that were more health conscious. When my business started to grow and expand, I started hanging out with people that were doing better than me or doing things on a level that I wanted to get to, and hanging out with them. And that's just the way it works. You're supposed to be, reaching up, but that other hand, pulling people up as well. But you can only pull up people that want to be lifted. It's kind of hard to drag people around. That's just extra weight. And that might be another goal for you guys to set next year. Man, it's hard, and I don't like to say that I love, but sometimes you just got to cut people off, and especially people that are holding you back, negative people. I don't have time to listen to people whine and complain and nag and just tell me everything that's wrong with the world, or start talking to me about politics and, how whatever their situation is. I'm okay to listen to that. I'm all right to work with somebody who's going through a tough time if they're working on getting themselves out of that tough time. But if they're just gonna sit down and complain, bring me down, I don't got time for that. Usually people like that don't fall into the other categories that make me feel, sexy about myself. They're not usually successful in what they're doing. They're probably not health conscious, and they certainly are not, thinking positively. So dumping that excess baggage, don't hold on to people that are weighing you down. All right. Well, I hope that some of this helps you guys. If you like this video, give me that thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you're watching my channel for the first time, subscribe. That's a nice way to say, hello, I like your stuff. Let's the internet know that stuff that I'm putting out there is somewhat valuable. As you can tell, I like to talk with my hands. And this year, I am gonna set a few goals. I got 3 days to get them out, but I will tell you that one of them will be to make more videos for you guys, because I know it's hard sometimes to wrap your mind around, you put this content out there and you don't sometimes get the immediate effect of people watching and how they respond. But lately, the more videos I do, the more random the love and the responses come back to me, and it's really inspiring, motivating, and I appreciate you all. Have a blessed end of the year. Be safe, and I wish you so much money, health, love, happiness in 2020, and be good to each other. All right, see you next year. Bye.